Hey, everybody. I finally pulled it together. I've tried to record this multiple times. There's never an easy way to kind of share something that's been so part of my existence, yet so personal. And I'm ready to share it. So here we go. Thank you for collaborating and just being on this Substack with me on this journey and going deeper in my healing journey in this life. So here's a story. The one I swore I'd never tell. A true story about love, cancer, trauma, and the magic of showing up anyway. I didn't plan to write about this. It's tender, it's messy, it holds pieces of my past I haven't been able to share until now. It came up the way so many things do in life. Something I saw triggered a memory that I had tucked away because it's not one of those things that makes us look strong. And it's one of those sad, heartbreaking moments we file away as well. That was fucking hard. Let's not talk about it and let's leave that in the past. But here I go. Cambridge dreams and hinge chats. Let me take you back a few months before I arrived in the UK. I had been revisiting an old dream, getting my master's from Cambridge and getting this global social innovation program that I'm applying for in the fall. I'm craving knowledge, aliveness, something that reminds me of who I am outside of the diagnosis. So, like any single girl, I said woman here, but it sounds like a girl. Any single woman starting chemo and questioning everything in life might do, I downloaded Hinge. Yep, the dating app. I watched Dying for Sex on Hulu with Michelle Williams. She did such a remarkable job. And something was stirred inside of me, a desire to explore connection, intimacy, and play. I wasn't expecting to meet my person, especially not across the pond, but I thought, why not? Let's see what happens. I set my location to Cambridge, future planning, obviously. I knew I'd be traveling to Glastonbury and London that summer, so I figured it was close enough. I wasn't looking for much, I was just curious. My Aiden. And then one night, a message came in from a strawberry blonde Brit with beautiful wavy hair. His first voice note stopped me in my tracks. I replied and we started connecting daily. He talked about his passions for woodworking, building boats, furniture, and how he crafted handmade gifts for his kids. He teaches skateboarding and how much joy he finds in creating things with his hands. There was something innocent, quirky, and creative in how he spoke. He felt like a portal into a version of a life I'd almost forgotten, full of play, presence, and poetry. We'll call him Aiden, yes, with a Cambridge accent, like Aiden from Sex and the City. The voice notes were full of stories about creativity, childhood, and music. It was light and playful. And maybe most importantly, it was refreshing. I initially didn't reveal my diagnosis to him. No labels, not the woman with cancer. Everything changes when you get diagnosed, how you see yourself and also how others see you. Falling in love with myself. I haven't dated in a long time. Being single in LA let's start this one again. Being single in LA is sort of a sport and frankly not one I'm interested in playing. I live alone for the first time in my life. No children, no parents, no partner. And honestly, it's been beautiful. A sacred time to fall in love with myself. No one teaches us that our first true love should be ourselves. Aiden felt different. It wasn't lust, it was curiosity. Could someone meet me here in this moment in my life, on this journey and beyond the diagnosis? Eventually, I knew I had to tell him about the cancer, about the treatment, the reality of my life right now, and I didn't know how he would respond. One afternoon, we got on the phone and I told him. He responded with kindness. He said that he was sad, but also honored that I had trusted him enough to share it. He didn't flinch. We kept talking, voice notes, poems, and sweet little updates. Nothing dramatic, just two people meeting each other honestly. He even made plans to come to London after my retreat so we could meet in person. But as the day got closer, something shifted. His warmth became cold. His voice notes got shorter. I could feel something was off. So I asked him how he was feeling. No pressure, again, just curiosity. That's when he told me he had once been married to an American woman, and the long distance thing brought up a lot of pain. He admitted he was starting to fall for me, but he wasn't ready. He didn't want to open that door. And honestly, I get it. But still, it stung. I didn't get angry. I thanked him for the experience, for reminding me what it feels like to be excited about someone again. That in some form of companionship, I am open to the sweetness, to the forms of love that feel intimate and innocent and new, even amidst the chemo and uncertainty. I am proud of myself. In the past, this would have taken me down a path of internal stories of unworthiness. I will never meet and find that person that will love me for me. These were stories I had lived with, rooted in traumatic childhood experiences, abandonment that had been a wound I've struggled with. So, of course, I've spent years trying to prove I was worthy of love. Maybe that's why this story feels so kismic. Aiden and I were supposed to meet that day. Instead, I went to Notting Hill alone. I'd been there once before on the first European trip as a teenager, and this time I went simply to be with myself, with the wonder of being alive. Magic in the chaos. The whole day felt like a movie. Magic was everywhere. I just came from Glastonbury, still vibrating from the post retreat afterglow, and I followed my gut instinct to stay in Notting Hill. It wasn't logical, it wasn't planned, it felt right. The market was buzzing. I wandered through the chaos, past vintage stalls, and found a thrift shop with a dreamy tulle dress in the window. Inside, I started chatting with a woman who, in turn, knew the very healer I had just produced the retreat for. She told me that that healer had changed her life, and our meeting confirmed that she was on the right path. Healing can feel so lonely, and our conversation felt divinely timed. An unexpected ghost. I left that shop buzzing, had dinner alone, read Being with Dying for a couple of hours, like the death nerd I've become, wandered back through the streets of West London, heart full, completely at peace. And then I saw him. He was walking towards me on the sidewalk with two other men, an old boss, a venture capital CEO from Madison Avenue from a lifetime ago, the one who gave me the space to heal when I couldn't speak my truth out loud. I froze, truly froze. My body stopped working. My brain said, that can't be him. He lives in New York. But it was. In that moment, my body remembered not just him, but who I was the last time I saw him. The breakdown. Here we go. 15 years ago, I was in an abusive romantic relationship. It was the darkest chapter of my life, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. I had lost my center, my joy, my sense of safety. Spiritually, Let me stop. I'm getting like jumping lines here because I'm so nervous. The gaslighting was relentless. I couldn't tell what was real anymore. It was like I was disappearing into someone else's story and I couldn't find my way out. Surviving the silence. I kept showing up to work, smiling, performing, trying to hold it together, but inside I was unraveling. Eventually, the weight became unbearable. There are things we don't always know how to talk about, things we don't want to share because we're afraid of the judgment. But I want to say it plainly right now because someone out there might need to hear it. I reached a point where I truly didn't want to live. I couldn't see a way out. I couldn't feel my future. The pain mentally of this mental abuse eclipsed everything. And at the moment of despair, I tried to end my life. The truth I've carried. Mental illness runs in my family. My grandmother, my mother, and I. Add to that, as a child, I experienced things no one should. Sexual abuse by a caregiver. I carried that trauma in silence for most of my life. No mental health resources, no therapy, just all of it inside. I know that there are so many who have endured life-altering trauma like this. I know that pain. When your sense of safety and worth is taken from you, it can feel impossible to rebuild. So when I found myself in yet another abusive situation, that decision wasn't about giving up. It was about needing the pain to stop. I didn't know how to keep going. The kindness that saved me. I was hospitalized. It was terrifying and humbling, but it also saved my life. At the time, I was working in finance. No one in the office knew the full story, but when I came back weeks later, my boss, the CEO of the venture capital firm, let me go. He did it with such grace. He knew something was wrong. He gave me the space to heal. He kept me on payroll, paid my insurance for the entire year, and said simply, go. Take care of yourself. That moment gave me something I had never experienced, a space to heal, compassion, a soft place to land, a chance to begin again. A glimpse of the past, a mirror of now. Back in Notting Hill, I wanted to run up to him. I wanted to say thank you. I wanted him to know that I had made it. That I am okay. That I am still here. But before I could move, he turned the corner and I couldn't catch up. So I asked Spirit, was I supposed to say something to him or just supposed to see him? And the answer was clear. I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to force the moment. The moment had already happened. I was simply meant to see it. To see him, to see myself, to remember. It all felt like a scene of a movie. A whisper from the universe saying, look how far you've come. Why I'm sharing this now. So far, from the abandoned child, from the young woman who didn't think she could go on living, I feel wiser, whole, comfortable with all the versions of me I am and proud. I was proud of myself, and I am proud of myself. We see people on stages, on social media, we see the highlight reels, but we don't always see the experience behind them, the highs and the deepest lows that shape the version you see now. That's why I'm sharing this, because often people ask me, how can you stay so positive? How do you do all that you've done? And I want to be honest. I want to be vulnerable because If you've experienced deep pain, trauma, and grief, you know you're not alone. We're not so different. Don't be ashamed of the raw and sad moments of your life. The parts of you that the parts of you think no one will love if they knew. The past, your pain, your experiences, especially if you didn't have a picture perfect upbringing. I truly believe that without these painful moments, so many things of my life wouldn't have unfolded the way that they have. Every agonizing chapter led me to this version of me, and I love her. There were times I didn't know how I would keep on living, but now I do, with every fiber of my being, because I understand true love now. Not the kind we see in the movies, not the kind we were told to find Barbie and Ken fantasy, but the kind that starts within, the love I have for myself. And I am complete with that. By accepting, forgiving, and prioritizing my own feelings, my thoughts, my desires, I've found peace. My perceived flaws, they're not flaws at all. They're just signatures of my survival, unique traits that have shaped the stories I've lived through. They are what make me me, and they are what make you uniquely you. We are not broken. We are not damaged. We are layered, multifaceted, textured with joy and pain, resilience, and tenderness. And when we stop resisting our truth, when we embrace every scar, every lesson, every quiet victory, we begin to live our whole selves. What really brings peace to our lives? That is where love begins. So, if you're reading this or navigating your own challenges, know this. It's okay to don't have it all figured out. It's okay if you don't have it figured out, right? It's okay to rewrite your story. I say this all the time to people. Just rewrite it. Tell a new story. To let it be messy, nonlinear, and beautifully unfinished. Because you are still here. And that matters more than anything. Next stop, a beach house in Maine, a place to reconnect with friends, a new chapter, and maybe a beginning of the next story. I think this should be a mini series. Amazon, call me. That's what happened this summer. I wanted to share that because it felt like a movie to me. It felt unreal. It's one of those times in your life where you're like, is this even possible? And I'm so grateful that the universe gave me that scene to watch and experience, and my body remembered. So it's part of my healing. I wanted to share it with you. So if this is of support to you, or you know of anybody going or struggling through something, I hope this could be of support to them. And I can't wait to see your comments here on Substack, your engagement and your shares. Writing has become, as you can tell, there's books everywhere in my house and artwork. Writing has become a big piece of my healing. So your support means so much to me. So I can travel, write, and keep telling these stories from a place that I never even imagined were there inside of me. So I hope that inspires you, and know that you're not alone. Love you.